Welcome, welcome. ESGT. This is the GT3 series. It's season 3, and this is round 3. We're at Bathurst, also known as Mount Panorama. And it looks like qualifying is about to start in a moment here. It's 15 minutes of qualifying, and then it goes straight into the race. So, should expect to get into that in just a few seconds here. Hope everybody's been all right. Ready to watch some good racing. Been on a little vacation, so I did have my PlayStation with me because I don't go more than a week without my PlayStation. But I obviously couldn't bring my wheel and stuff, so I haven't been playing Gran Turismo. Played a lot over the last couple of days, and spent some time right here on Mount Panorama, so that is good. Feeling familiar with the track lately. What's up, Diogo? How are you? Just took a quick couple of recon laps. This race is at nighttime, which is the best time at Mount Panorama if you ask anybody. Qualifying is getting started right now, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into to quali and see how people are gonna do here. Starting off with Nemesis in that Lexus RCF GT3 is gonna pop out of the pits first. Expect to see folks getting underway on their fast laps any minute now. Go UFT, you can't race today, okay. Sorry you can't race, but yeah, best of luck to your teammates. Division 2, of course, is one of, I believe we have 4 divisions. Well, not 4. Technically, it's 4. Here's what the deal is. We've got Division 1, Division 2, we've got Division 3, 1, Division 3, 2, and Division 3, 3. So that's actually 5 divisions that we have. We just had a lot of people wanting to be in the series this season, so got a lot of folks that we had to fill in and create divisions for. Let's take a look at the standings while we're waiting on qualifying to really get underway. See Nemesis making their way through the Falcon Elbow here on the quick run back down the mountain down what's called Conrad Strait. It's called Conrad Strait because if you're going to lose a connecting rod, if you're going to throw a rod through the block in your car, it's going to be here. This very, very long straight. You are pushing the car to its limit, and you know, you hear a big bang, or probably sounds more like a ping, metallic ping. And a big old ball of fire comes out of the underside of your car, and a big old spray of oil comes out with it when you lose that connecting rod there. That is Nemesis off to start the first lap. We're gonna go on board with him through turn 1 here, just to get our bearings around the track, especially at nighttime. As we go down Mountain Straight, another really long straight, but it doesn't have as cool a name, obviously. Down into turn 2, Quarry Bend, if you will, heading uphill. You need all that power to get up here. Quick kink towards what's called the cutting. Really tough corner to get out of because you go really, really slowly through there. And then quickly you're climbing again. You're climbing the mountain up through Reed Park, Suleiman Park. All these are labeled somewhere on the walls here. Left-handers still climbing up this mountain here. And the quick or long left-hand bend to Skyline. Ooh, a little bit in that grass there. Coming into the S's, you got to be confident on your brakes here as you start your climb down the mountain. Start the descent down, rather. Gonna come into the Falcon Elbow here. Falcon being a long-time sponsor of this corner. I don't remember, there's a real name for it. It's not the Falcon elbow, because obviously that can change. It is called the elbow. I don't remember the other name. And then back down Conrad. Got someone right behind AMS Turbo, right behind, trying to get around there. MS is gonna have to back out of that to get into the chase. Ooh, but Nemesis off at the chase. Turbo's gonna keep going towards Murray's corner, the last corner of the track. 90-degree left-hander. It can be pretty slippery. You have to be careful on the throttle to get around and not spin it, and then across the line. That's one lap. AMS Turbo sending it with a 2:04. Immediately beat out by Quentin with a 2:01, and then Tommy Kun came with a shorter 2:01, if you will. But the times are starting to come in here as people make their way through. Turbo thrown down to 6th place, even with Tommy Kun, Quentin, Lamb, Joao Oliveira, and F. Oliveira coming in to take those top 5 spots. And they go back round again. The last person just set their time, Diogo Typer, with a 2:01.1. And so we do it again. So yeah, Tommy Kun is in that M6. Great car, really love the M6. It's been one of my favorite cars in this game. Though at times, there were times where the physics model made this car pretty hard to drive with those twin turbos. Tommy sliding through the S's, going so quick. But yeah, there were times where the turbos would kick in and the rear end was gone on you. This, of course, being a twin turbo V8, so you have all the torque of a V8 from the jump, and then you have 2 turbos to make it even worse. You gotta love it. Tommy going purple in that 2nd sector, probably going to beat their time again. Coming down into the cutting, very difficult corner. Oh, Tommy seems quite squirrely, but obviously has that car up under them to still be quicker than everybody else, and I guess that is just Tommy's style of driving, very loose rear end. Quentin goes first, and then Tommy comes in behind and actually does not beat their own time. Quentin goes into 1st place with a 1:59, and then we're starting to see more people jump in up there. AMS Rush just took 2nd away from Joao Oliveira. More fast laps. Alex coming in. Lamb still up there, but the top 5 starting to look a little bit different. Joao, purple in the 1st sector. Must have got a great turn 1 there. As he now heads into the cutting. This corner, very slow, but it is uphill, so you can get off the brakes a little bit earlier than you think, because you're going to scrub that speed off. You're going to scrub that speed off turning. It's a very sharp turn. It's a hairpin, and the fact that it's sharply uphill. So you get off the brakes as early as you can and start setting up to get back on the throttle safely to keep on going up the hill. Headed towards Skyline here. It's looking quick for Joao. Coming down the S's. On the brakes, just lightly on the brakes, just to keep that car under control. Oh, big slide. Big slide right there. That's not what you want coming out of the dipper. It's called the dipper because you dip into it pretty much. Let me see if I can find somebody who's about to head into it. Right there, dip. And again, one more, Diogo, big dip. And it will disturb your car. You have to take that dipper carefully, because if you mess it up, you're basically going to spin it. Oops, wrong camera angle, my fault. Quentin still in 1st, about to cross that line again. Let's see if they stay in 1st this time. This is the 4th lap, and we've got changes in 1st every single lap. Quentin sets not a new time. Sorry, AMS Turbo just set a new time. I thought that was Quentin. Quentin does not go faster. Can Rush take it? Rush does not take it. Rush crosses the line, doesn't get there. Lamb, what about you? Not too far off. Lamb 3/10 back from first with their last time. No. Yes, actually, I'm sorry. Lamb does go first. My bad. Lamb takes first place with a 1:59.7. There's still a lot of time left. We're just a little over halfway done with qualifying here, so Quentin can still finish up this lap and get that time. Rush is obviously still in it as well. Really, anybody in the top 5 is still in this. Halex is only 3/10 back with their time. 3/10 around here is, you know, it's one corner. It's getting one corner just right, and that helps you out. A lot of corners here you have to set up for. Ooh, that's not it, Turbo, but you can drift around there if you'd like. Turbo makes it happen, hangs on to that there. But yeah, a lot of corners here you set up 2, 3, sometimes even 4 corners back, and just getting it right in that, you know, first or second corner gains you 3 or 4 tenths at the end of the sequence. So maybe we'll see Halex come up, but right now Lamb is hanging on to everything with that long Mazda. It looks long, right? It's got a pretty long wheelbase. Haven't seen very many people really drive this car super successfully with the stock tuning, but Lamb makes it look easy. Purple in the second sector going down Conrad, and Purple by a lot. I think that was 2.5 tenths, something like that. That's crazy. That is crazy. Coming down into the chase, and then we're gonna hit that last corner to cross the line and see what we get. Lamb goes even faster, 2.281 faster, just increased that gap to everybody else there. So Lamb's gonna go ahead and pit. Lamb says, I'm good, I got it. Oh no, coming right back out. They did mess up turn 1 a little bit there. I would have just kept on going because you're gonna have an outlap and it's not gonna count for anything either. So interesting decision there by Lamb to go up, to go in and come right back out. Rush, Quentin, can you guys do anything? I mean, that last lap by Lamb just threw the gap way up there. You can see the competition is tough. F. Oliveira just set a new time for themselves on that last lap around, meaning they went even faster, and they're still sitting just in ninth place for themselves with a 2-minute 1. You really got to break into the 59s to get into the top 5, it looks like. Oh, that's not true. Turbo's in the top 5 with a 2-minute flat. But yeah, a 59 is what you want to really compete, really get on that front row. Mount Panorama, of course, being pretty tough to pass around here. The straights make it easy, of course, if you can get someone in the straights, but most other corners are pretty tough to pass cleanly because it's kind of narrow. This is a street course. It looks like a real racetrack, but ooh, and Quentin off on the edge just messes up that lap. I'd be kicking myself. Quentin gonna jump into the pits from there. Is it going to allow it? Nope, not jumping into the pits, just gonna try to get a good run on the next lap. Good idea. I don't know how to say this, but Pikmas suddenly bumps up into the top 5, into second place. Hadn't even seen where they were sitting before. Their last time was a 2-minute 1, was their fastest time, which would have put them, would have had them around 6th or 7th place here. So a great lap from them all of a sudden there, just to shake up the top 5 again. We're almost done. 2 minutes left in quali. People should be able to get in another lap. Hey, Miguel. You love me? Thanks. I love you too, Miguel. I am hot, so I'm gonna go open a window. I'll be back. I have returned. I'm here with Rush. I don't know why. I just feel like Rush. I feel like you can do better than what you got. Come on, let's jump up in the order there. That Corvette really, really strong around here. Ooh, nope, it's not gonna be on this lap. Rush is 1.2 seconds back on that sector, so maybe messed something up earlier. Turbo parking it. Done. Happy with 6th place. If not happy, at least content. Very respectable in this lobby. This is a very fast lobby. To be anywhere in the top 10 is pretty good. Ho! Pickmus goes even faster. Gets that 1st place over Lamb by a 1/10 and a half. Lamb with a penalty. Gotta scrub that off. They might be able to cross the line in time to get another lap. Not sure here. It's gonna be close. No, they're not. They're just gonna go ahead and jump into the pits. Pit lane here, by the way, very tricky. Pit lane, it's downhill, and then it takes a sharp left. It's almost a chicane in the middle of pit lane, but there's no wall to stop you if you mess it up. So, if you are jumping into pit lane, of course you want to go in as quickly as possible before you hit that pit speed limit. But in this game, you still have control when you hit that sharp left-hander. And if you're going too fast and you don't make it, you're going to overshoot it, and the game is not going to let you pit again. You will have to take another lap. It's fun times. I know this because it's happened to me many times. Okay, maybe not many, but several times. Oh man, Mount Panorama. I love this track. I love this track. This is one of the best tracks in the world. No question. This is a world-class track. One of the best races in the world happens here annually. It's the 12 Hours of Bathurst. Usually takes place in January or February. It starts off very early in the Australian morning, so it starts off in the dark just like this, and then it pretty much runs all day long. And what's so amazing about the race is that it's multi-class racing, but it's multi-class racing like you've never seen. Typically in multi-class racing, you have something like the way Le Mans runs, or IMSA. You've got a prototype class, maybe a couple prototype classes, a fast GT class, you know, GTLM, GTE, and a regular GT class, GT3 cars, which are these cars here. And that is what you get in most multi-class racing professionally. But at the 12 Hours of Bathurst, there's no prototype. GT3 is the top class, which means every class below is that much closer to just street cars. And there's something about watching street cars on big tracks. It's wonderful. Of course, nothing out there is literally a street car, but you go from GT3 down to, like, you know, touring car type classes. You get some really unique stuff that doesn't race in any other series. I think the only multi-class race that's cooler is something in the VLN series, which I think has changed names now. VLN being the endurance series at the Nürburgring. They race the Nürburgring 24-hour layout and put on the 24 hours of Nürburgring race in the summertime, and that is definitely a treat if you've never watched it, because you can watch a car like this, a GT3 car, a car like, you know, we'll say a car that actually exists. You can watch a Viper GT3 and a Corvette GT3 on the track at the same time as like a Mark II Volkswagen Golf, right? It's a really, really cool race. I say check those out on YouTube if you ever get a chance. 24 hours of Nürburgring, or rather VLN on Nürburgring, and the 12 Hours of Bathurst. Qualifying's over. Pickmis at the top, followed by Quinton, who actually, Lamb's time. I hadn't even seen that. It's time to start the race. We didn't get to see that standing order. It's a grid start here. There's the order. Pickmis, Quinton, Lamb in third, Halex, and Rush round out your top five. And then after that, you've got, well, you got the rest of the field. Nice angle here as we watch and wait for the lights to turn. Everybody up on the gas. And green, green, green. Let's go. Very smoky start by Lamb. Pygmies into turn 1. Doesn't bother defending. Takes the corner correctly. Or takes the right line. You get a really good launch out of that Benz. Out of really all the naturally aspirated V8 cars, you get great launches. It looks like everyone got through turn 1 cleanly. 3 wide here. 7th, 8th, and 9th. Going 3 wide down Mountain Straight as they head into turn 2. Also a tough corner. You got to try to keep your momentum and not get thrown too far outside. Looks like everybody through there cleanly as well. The leaders getting through the cutting, starting to make that climb up the mountain. Very, very clean, safe start to this race. You love to see it. It's very professional looking here. Some sparks flying. Somebody tapped the wall there. Love tap on the wall. It happens. I said earlier, this course is very narrow because it is a street course. This is a public roadway. Once you get past all of this through the S's and you head down Conrad Straight, if you look left and right as you head down Conrad, let me get out of here so I can change camera angles and try that. You're gonna see driveways and stuff. You're gonna see people's houses. Uh-oh, ooh, squarely, Nemesis, a little bit back and forth coming out of the elbow, but look, you can see driveways. People's homes are along this street here, and it gets shut down for this race and, of course, all other races that happen at Mount Panorama. But, like I said, it doesn't look like it, but it's a street course. And street courses typically mean narrow roadways, which is a lot of fun. And you spend a lot of time trying to get as close to those walls as possible because it's faster to stay close to the walls. Pygmies, stop racing and tell me how to say your name. Just type it in the chat. Just pause. You can pause down the straight. The computer will go just as fast. It's perfect. What do we have here? Joao and Alex fighting here, heading into turn 1. Got Rush around the outside of them there. Oh, that's a great camera angle as all the cars come out. Hard on the brakes for the cutting, tight to the wall, like I said. They keep on climbing. Joao leading a big train of cars here. I wonder if Rush is going to try to get around or if Joao is going to speed it up at some point here. Meanwhile, Lamb is running all alone, having lost Quentin and Pygmies a little bit. 1.2 seconds back. They're going to have to do some work to get back into the slipstream there. PK and Alex for P1 and P2. That's what you think? All right, we'll see if it happens. Here's hoping. Quentin in that beautiful McLaren 650S. Another turbo V8 car. Oh, this battle with Joao. Probably holding folks up a little bit there. Joao gets a little bit of a gap because they're going to slow way up behind the. Oh, what just happened? Did I see a bump or was it lag? I don't know, but somebody just went 3 wide through Murray's, and I love to see it. The mid pack. Uh-oh, we just lost somebody. Did we lose them completely? Not completely. They're still, whoever that was, they're still in it. I heard the tire screeching. I saw their arrow lose positions on the radar, but didn't see the actual positional change there. Rush gets up ahead of... Oh, I thought Rush got ahead of Joao. That's not true. Rush fell down to 6th, so maybe that's what happened there. Mid-pack looks very, very, very strong. I'm expecting that we'll see some really good battling right in here between 5th through maybe 9th or 10th. We'll see. Let's check in with the leaders real quick. Quentin still holding on to Pick Miz. Probably doing a... Well, I think Quentin just had a moment there in the cutting. Not sure. But Pick Miz just made a big jump on them. A couple tenths in there. And in fact, Lamb is now much closer to Quentin. So yes, something happened to Quentin. I think they had a moment, a little squirrely moment in the dip. And that's what happens in the dipper. Joao has shaken everybody off now. Joao with a 2.5 gap to Hallex in 5th place. Let's see if Joao starts catching up to the top 3, or if they end up just hanging on to 4th, only to fall back into the clutches of Hallex. Meanwhile, Hallex does have Rush to worry about. Rush seems content to stay back and save fuel. Rush shifting that vet, really short shifting that vet, so I don't think we're going to see Rush try to pass. I think they're just going to hang out in Hallex's slipstream for a little bit and get that free toe up and down the mountain until they're ready to make a move. F. Oliveira, meanwhile, with a Tommy Gun behind. Got a Tommy Gun right there in that back seat. Tommy gonna try to make a move here. No, not into turn 2. Maybe not at all. We're seeing some separation here. This is a pack just 7th through 8th in this pack here. Rush and Hallex make their own pack. Joao Oliveira in 3rd. What happened to Hallex? Something bad, I'm guessing. And Lamb as well, down in 6th place. How did we miss it? We missed it because I was watching people who weren't fighting. That's how we missed it. But Lamb now is going to have to try to fight back from someone who dominated qualifying for so long to find themselves down in 6th place after starting in 3rd. Hallex with a big 1.5 second penalty, likely related to whatever happened to mess up the positioning here. Rush right there with them. Don't know if Rush wants to stay behind. We're gonna have to deal with Lamb here. Hallex taking that penalty. Lets Rush go by. Lamb right behind. Joao's got to be happy sitting in 3rd place right now. 3.5 seconds back from the leaders, but doesn't have a crowd to deal with, so can just take some easy laps for a little bit. The leaders still one after the other. And at the back, we've got a 3-car race in the back too, between Turbo, Nemesis, and Dragao Tony. We'll call him Tony. Just doing their thing. So many different kinds of cars here. I expect to see lots and lots of different pit strategies. I think we saw the same at Spa. And that's what's great about this class. This class, GR4 and GRX too, though GRX is impossible to BOP, so this game usually doesn't bother. But those are classes with a whole lot of different cars, a whole lot of different types of cars. And so it makes them really, really fun to make leagues, as long as you can restrict the cars that people can take. You know, you only let 1 or 2 of a certain type of car in and kind of force that diversity. Lamb still here behind Rush. I think Lamb is also just relaxing for a bit, maybe not pulling out as they head into the kink towards the chase, and yeah, Lamb goes ahead and makes the pass, and that is Alex sideways and off at the cutting. You go a long way there. Luckily there's kitty litter to stop you, but there's a lot of grass to get through before you get to the kitty litter. Quentin is in. That's our first pit stop. Let me get to Quentin. Quentin and Tommy Kun both in to the pits. Yeah, sorry, Mermaid. That's your teammate. But you know what? They might be able to come back, and you have another teammate right up here in first place. It's okay. Quentin back out of the pits. Must have just gone in for tires. Not even a splash of fuel. Quentin comes out right back in second place, right in front of Joao Oliveira. They have fresh tires, so I expect them to run away. Joao's dealing with a little tire wear. It's not that bad though, so I wonder why Quentin took that pit stop so early. I wasn't really paying attention to tire wear on the McLaren. It may not be the best on tires, I'm not sure, but yeah, Lamb up to fourth place, haven't made it past Rush. Gonna start running away here and start chasing down Joao Oliveira. Who else was it that had pitted? Was it Tommy Kun? Tommy Kun pitted with fresh tires. Let's see if we can do a rundown from last place. See who's pitted. Alex went ahead and pitted after that time. Off track, makes sense. Grab some tires. F. Oliveira also with fresh tires. Tony, no tires. Tommy Kun, fresh tires. A little bit of a fight going on here. I like this. Nemesis did not pit. Let's see. You hear those tires scrubbing as everybody brakes hard and makes that turn into the elbow. Most of the field has not pitted on that last lap. Quentin, of course, being the first to have jumped in. Let's see if Pikmiz jumps in this time around. They are hanging around on the left side of the track. Yes, Pikmiz gonna go in with that Benz. It's a 4-second gap. I don't think I know for a fact the pit lane is not that long here, the pit delta. So usually if you're going in for tires, not a splash, you can come out pretty quickly. But that gap just not big enough for Pikmiz to come out back ahead of Quentin. Comes out right next to Quentin and ends up having to tuck in behind right there. So Quentin made a good move going ahead and getting in that pit stop early and making the undercut. Quentin's got the inside for turn 2 here. Pikmiz already starting to try to make a move. Pikmiz does not want to be behind Quentin at all. Rush, Lamb, Joao Oliveira all involved in a thing. Turn 2, making it through clearly, and staying now also head up towards the cutting and through. What else is going on? We've got a little bit of a shuffle in our battles and bunches because a few people did pit and a few more have pitted now. It looks like actually most of the field has Lamb still out on them same tires. Nemesis still out on their tires. Everyone else has taken a pit stop at this point. So interesting to see the Quentin still holding off Pikmiz. Pikmiz needed to wait for those tires to warm up. They should be fairly warm now. Making your way through those S's. Scrub some heat into them very quickly. So I expect to see Pikmiz either starting to try to make a move on Quentin, or maybe they'll just follow and save fuel. Lamb running all alone, 7 seconds ahead of Joao, who's also, well, actually Joao's not alone because you got Rush right behind, right there with Tommy Kun following. A little bit of a touch between the two as they head towards the chase, but none the worse for the wear. Just some trying to figure out who's going to go where on the track. Tommy Kun, inside Rush for Murray's corner, has to back out of it. I think Tommy is going ahead and letting Rush know, I'm here and I'm trying to make this pass. Beware. I'm not here to play with you. Lamb tucks in behind Joao. We just saw Lamb jump into the pits real quick and get those tires. Comes out in 4th place, splits Joao and Rush. I might be happy about that. Have somebody in between them and Rush. On top of just Rush having Tommy Kun behind to slow him down. What's going on with the rest of the field though? Nemesis still out. Did not pit and not take tires. We're on lap 8. And that last lap time, a 2:08.7 for Nemesis. Must have had a moment there. Very big moment to lose that much time on your lap time. Quinn still leads Pikmiz. Love the way that McLaren looks. Pikmiz poking their nose out, getting into Quentin's mirrors there. Let's see what's up with Tommy Kun and Rush. Are they still fighting? Yes, they are. Tommy Kun also shows the nose to Quentin. Just trying to break his concentration, I guess. Sorry, shows nose to Rush, my fault. Trying to break their concentration going into the corner. It's a good strategy when you are behind and you know you're trying to put pressure on that driver ahead. You want them to make a mistake so you can get an easy pass, so you don't have to work too hard to pass them. You just want them to do it for you. And so keeping that pressure up, staying right behind them, making sure you stay in their mirrors. Pop out, flash the lights in their mirror as they head into the braking zone. Just get them to look in their mirror and look at you to see what you're doing instead of looking at their braking point. Tommy Kun inside at turn 2 there. Corey Bend makes the pass, gets it to stick, and that's Tommy Kun up to 5th place. After a 2-lap battle with Rush, well done. Well done, Tommy, to make that pass. Meanwhile, Lamb has gotten up ahead of Joao Oliveira as well. I think both of them made their passes at the same time. Hey, Thiago, how are you? Yes. Brazil. I don't think we have any Brazilians in this race, or no one racing under the Brazilian flag, but it's never a wrong time to root for your country. So, Brazil! Perfect. Lamb, what are you going to do here? You're in 3rd place, but you are pretty far off from 1st and 2nd. 10 seconds off of 1st and 2nd, leading this first part of the mid-pack, or I guess you could call it I'd call it the first part of the mid-pack. It's a long train of cars, all in one another's slipstream down Conrad. That was a nice view there. You could just see the leaders off in the distance past the cutting for a second. Let's check in with the folks in the back. There was a good fight in the back. Not a fight, they were just running together, but they were pretty close. Now the backpack is very spread out. Nemesis 7 seconds behind Diogo, sitting in 11th place, and Tony 3 seconds behind that in 12th. So we're not going to see a battle for not last. Not right now, at least. Quentin still hanging on to 1st place from Pikmiz. In fact, that gap is even bigger. Pikmiz seemingly backing off at some point here. Lamb in the mid-pack coming through now, down through Corey Bend, up the mountain themselves. I don't think anyone's really close enough to make any moves, but I see some headlights that, yeah, I see some headlights close to other tail lights. We'll see if we get a good fight out of anybody this lap around. Really hard to make passes right here as you start getting into the most narrow part of the track. Up through the parks and then over through Skyline. Not really able to make a pass in the Skyline. It's narrow and it's quick. It's just a lift to go into that corner. You don't brake, so it's not really something you can dive into and get past your opponent and catch them off guard. You just kind of stay patient, make it through the S's, through the dirty air, and see if you can get close enough to make something happen in the straight. Come out of the elbow. Let's see if Rush tries to do anything to Tommy Gun here, or if they just stay behind. Rush was saving fuel earlier, and yeah, I think I just saw another big short shift, so I don't think Rush, yep, bump draft to Tommy Gun there, try to get Tommy a little bit closer to Joao. Rush is happy to stay behind. Just good racing there, just working with your opponent for a while. AMS and Tommy obviously on different teams. Quentin back in lap 10, so that's about on par for their first pit. They pitted at lap 5 in the first stint. Pitting again. Tommy Kun also pits, did the same thing. They also pitted on lap 5. And that's Quentin back out in second place behind Pikmiz this time. And with Lamb behind, so if Quentin has to spend some time defending against Lamb, they may not be able to get out ahead of Pikmiz like they did last time, because they just barely did it last time and they had a clean lap. Pikmiz came out right on their bumper. I think they were side by side actually when Pikmiz came out of the pits. So if Lamb tries to make it hard for Quentin and makes Quentin have to defend, we may see Pikmiz keep this position, assuming that they're going to pit on lap 12 here. They pitted on lap 6 last time. Let's stick with these two and see what happens. Pikmiz on cold tires, Lamb on old tires, but not old so old, and those tires do have some warmth in them, why they're able to really keep up with Quentin here. Quentin just trying to hold on to that McLaren, trying to get some heat to that rubber. See if they can maybe run away from Lamb. I believe Quentin has pace on Lamb, but it may not be consistent pace on Lamb. Lamb did dominate qualifying for most of qualifying, and Quentin came in the last minute to take second place away. That could just be a good lap. It doesn't necessarily mean that Quentin is faster than Lamb. Lamb shifting that Mazda short. Pikmiz is in. Pikmiz is in. Let's see where they come out in relation to Quentin. Quentin passing through, passing the front straight now. Pikmiz, you done with those tires yet? Pikmiz taking some fuel, so no, Pikmiz is gonna come out behind Quentin. So Quentin keeps first, Lamb keeps second, Pikmiz comes in fourth after Joao. Diego Typer's in. Got a lot of people jumping into the pits now. Pit window is open. We should see some people over the next few laps jump in, and we'll get the order rearranged again. But yeah, it looks like Quentin was able to get tires and the fuel they needed to come out, not only ahead of Pikmiz, but 3 cars ahead of Pikmiz. Of course, Joao owes a pit stop. So does Lamb also owe a pit stop, but that's still 2 cars that are in the way of Pikmiz getting closer to Quentin to continue that battle once those 2 pop into the pits. So again, the undercut really working out well for Quentin. We'll see how that keeps working. Of course, they're pitting every 5 or 6 laps. There's a 28 lap race. That's a lot of pit stops. There's a lot of changes that can happen. Looking pretty spread out through the mid and backpack here. It looks like just Quentin and Lamb are running together. Lamb, I don't know when Lamb will pit. I don't remember when they pitted last time, but it was definitely way after everyone else. Something like lap 7 or even 8. I think it was more like lap 8. So they still have a quarter tank of fuel, in fact. So they may keep it in. Tires don't necessarily need to be changed just yet. And yep, Lamb stays out this lap. Just gonna stay behind Quentin. Lamb showed us in round 1 at Spa that they are happy to stay behind, save fuel, and make the pass in the pits. Even though they are quick on track, very, very quick on track. They also just have some intelligence about their strategy. They'll decide to just make the pass in the pits and not even bother having to battle on the track. That's Joao in and back out with a 1.5 second penalty on the clock there. Not sure where they got that from. They may have cut a corner coming into the pit lane. Pit lane is very tricky here. Or it may be a penalty they've been carrying from before pit lane. Not sure. But that's pretty unlucky there to have that. Both Oliveira's, actually all three teammates running 6th, 7th, and 8th on the track together. Oh, not 8th anymore. Alex just made a pass on Joao, or the order tree was incorrect here to begin with, because I didn't actually see a pass, but I could be wrong. Up front, Lamb and Quentin still just chilling. Just an easy Sunday run for them. Pickmiz pushing to try and catch up. We should take a lap with Pickmiz. We'll take the next lap with Pickmiz. See if they can get closer to Quentin and Lamb here. It's a 2.7 second gap as Pickmiz enters the chase and heads down towards the last corner. 2.5 is the gap. 2-2. What is going on with Lamb there? That gap is coming down quick. 2 seconds. Down another 1/10 to 1.8. Is really pushing that bend here. Really pushing it. Lamb, of course, does not have the tires under them to hang on to Quentin anymore. Looks like they're losing time to Quentin and definitely losing time to Lamb. Lamb looking at those tail lights and probably feeling pretty motivated to get up there. Sorry, Pickmiz. Seeing Lamb's tail lights. Apologies. Doing great. Oh yeah, noticeably closer now, almost in the slipstream. 1.3 seconds back from Lamb. Lamb is definitely going to want to pit this lap, if you ask me. It is lap 14, and assuming they pitted on lap 7 last time around, they might pit here, but like I said, it might have been lap 8. I don't remember. It was pretty late compared to everyone else. Yeah, Lamb is in. Gonna go ahead and take those tires and get that fuel. Pickmiz, meanwhile, 2.9 behind Quentin. We'll come back and see how that gap closes, or if it closes at all. Tommy Kuhn's gonna inherit 3rd place from Lamb here while they have to stop and take fuel. Though Tommy also owes a pit stop pretty soon. They'll be in the pits. F. Oliveira and Alex also passing, but I just heard that Mazda RX Vision take off. So they're coming out of the pits here. And Lamb is already heading down Mountain Straight. Came out ahead of F. Oliveira. In 4th place, just has Tommy Kuhn to chase down now. Now, Tommy Kuhn's been pitting every 5 laps, so Tommy Kuhn should pit this lap, which will give Lamb 3rd place back. And So the running order sits. Quentin in first, Pickmiz in second, Tomica in third, Lamb in fourth, Oliveira in fifth, Halex in that awesome Viper in sixth place, Joao Oliveira leading AMS Rush through the S's, seventh and eighth place, Diogo Typer in ninth, AMS Turbo 10th, Nemesis in 11th place, and Tony in 12th place for the race here. We are a little over halfway through. There's still a lot of race to go. 28 laps race. We're 15 laps in. That gap between Quentin and Pickmiz has gotten bigger, not smaller. So Quentin really just tossing that McLaren around, trying to make sure that they can build enough of a gap for the next pit stop, though they're gonna have to pit very soon here, and the gap isn't quite big enough, so Pickmiz may jump here. Pickmiz, of course, just pitted, but I lied. Pickmiz did not just pit, I guess. Pickmiz also needs fuel, so we'll see what happens when they come out of the pit stops here. Quentin has a little bit more in the tank, tiny bit, but sometimes it makes a difference, you know, if you can hit the gas pedal 1 second before the next person, then you get out of the pits before them, don't you? Half a second even. Let's just watch these beautiful cars race for a little bit. Whoa, Joao with a spin. Oh, that's not good. Joao with a spin in the S's. I think the dipper got him there. I didn't really see exactly where it happened. I looked away, but I heard it happen. To the pits. So is Pickmiz. Let's see who comes out first. Quentin, I thought, had a little more fuel than Pickmiz, but they must have spent it. Pickmiz has 1% more fuel. Pickmiz hits the gas, gets out behind Quentin. Didn't even hear when Quentin took off. Quentin up the road, 2 seconds up the road on Lamb. And took more fuel than Pickmiz too. Lamb gets in between the two of them. Lamb back up to second place there. Must feel good to have climbed back up. And Lamb also recently pitted. Is gonna probably have to pit before these two, but isn't in a place where they can't compete for position here, and still fight and get speed for the next couple of pit stops. We're gonna have probably 2 more pit stops in this race, 2 more pit windows. The rest of the pack looking pretty safe. Lamb, a little bit closer to Quentin. A little bit closer. If I'm Lamb, I would really like to put Quentin between myself and Pickmiz before the next pit stops. So this is a stint where I would push. Have those two end up having to fight each other in battle, but it's going to be up to Lamb and having the pace to do it, huh? luck for F. Oliveira there, or is that just a lag issue? That seems more like a network issue. They're stuck on track for me, not moving. I hope they're not about to get, yes, they're kicked from the room. Unfortunately, that was clearly a network issue there. The game just kind of puts you in a wall or puts you somewhere where it doesn't, when it doesn't know where you are on track. That's really, really bad luck for F. Oliveira there. They were running pretty well. Would have got a decent amount of points for one. Team 1 racing. That nobody wants to see that, so that really sucked. Rush up ahead of Tommy Kun now. I think Rush has had enough of saving fuel and is ready to start leading. Will they be able to run away from Tommy Kun though? Tommy is pretty much stuck to them like glue. Twin turbo V8 versus naturally aspirated V8. Tommy Kun inside for Quarry Corner. Makes that turn, makes it stick. Gets that pass. Rush kind of made it easy though. It didn't even defend, so I wonder if Rush wanted them up there. Doesn't look like Rush is in a hurry to try to get the position back. Meanwhile, Pikmin is on Lamb, 1 second back, 1.2 seconds back. Lamb, little bit further away from Quentin, so I think they're gonna need to worry about defending more than they're gonna need to worry about making that pass to get Quentin in between them. Tommy Kun eking out a little bit of a gap over Rush here. AMS Turbo. Haven't heard a whole lot from Turbo, been kind of quiet. Just running their race in that Genesis. Halex, as we saw, had a massive off in the chase. And they're back here running in 7th place. Halex having qualified, I think, in the top 5. And Joao in that JBL liveried Aston. All of Team 1, of course, sponsored by JBL per their liveries. All in different cars. Tommy Kun in the M6. Joao in the Aston. And what was F driving? The Lexus, I believe. Diogo running in the Honda NSX. Tony in our Soul 911. Nemesis into the pits. Pardon me, gonna take tires and fuel. I expect those front tires are done. Wow. That's a long time to run them. Nemesis with fuel for the rest of the race here. Quentin, meanwhile, is just eking out fast lap after fast lap. It looks like Lamb has the fastest lap of the race back in lap 16 with a 2:03, but Quentin's pulling out a gap, making that gap bigger and bigger to Lamb. Lamb, of course, starting to see some front tire wear, which on this track really affects you. You know, like most racetracks, of course, plenty of corners that you have to get through. I think what's unique about Mount Panorama, though, is that it's clearly a high-speed track. You've got 2 very long straights on this mountain here. So top speed, definitely important, just as important as it is at a place like Monza. But you also have this very technical section, you know, in the climb up the mountain and certainly in the S's. And as you start the first few corners going down the mountain, once you get past the S's, you know, the Dipper, the elbow, all of that stuff requires precision handling to be fast. You lose a lot of time over the mountain if you can't do it well. And so Mount Panorama is just one of those places where it's not enough to have just a straight line car, but you obviously need a straight line car. But yeah, you also need a car that can turn, that can hustle, that, you know, is going to be stable. Let me tell you, going through the S's and all of this that Lamb's going through right here, having a car that wags its tail too much is almost death through here, basically, because it's very fast left back switchbacks. That's a car. Is that Quentin? That was Quentin. That was Quentin. Can the people get a replay? What? Why are you replaying from the beginning? All right. The people cannot get a replay, clearly because this game is weird. That's it. Is that what happened? That's the dipper. Yeah, lost the rear end in the dipper. And then it just swung back around. Of course, that McLaren is mid-engined, meaning the engine is back over the rear axle. Not past it, usually right on top of the rear axle or just in front of it. So you got a lot of weight back there, and if it swings one way, it's gonna swing harder back the other way like a pendulum. And that's what you just saw happen to Quentin there. That's really bad luck. Pygmies and Lamb going ahead and jumping in. I think Quentin's probably also gonna jump in. Yeah, Quentin goes ahead and pits too. Wow, what terrible luck that was. Just really a bad look for Quentin there. Pygmies and Lamb still sitting in the pits. Pygmies is out. Lamb also out. Quentin still waiting on fuel. Quentin now out. So that's a big gap between the two that Quentin's battling. Quentin comes out in 5th place. Of course, Tommy Kuhn's going to owe a pit stop. So is Hallex. So really the order is Lamb now in 1st. Pygmies, and then Quentin in 3rd, after just really bad luck in the S's and the dipper. And you know what sucks is, you know, I said a lot of corners you have to set up 2 and 3, maybe even 4 corners back. With the dipper, it's definitely one of those. It's possible that, you know, Quentin made a mistake entering the S's, and it didn't kill him until the dipper. We didn't get to see all of it, but what we do know is that Quentin had a big oops, and things went very wrong. So Quentin's gonna have to try to fight back here, but there are only 7 laps left in this race, and so I think we just watched them lose 1st place there, which sucks after they were doing so well on pace. This is Pygmies and Hallex. Hallex, of course, on slightly older tires than Pygmies, but a much lighter car. So let's see if it's going to be easy for Pygmies to pass. Looks like it is. Going to be easy to make the pass right here in the straight. Hallex does try to fight it. Not really anything you can do. It's a straight line. You just got to make the room. And so Pygmies easily passed. Going to keep on trying to get closer to Lamb. Lamb is 4 seconds up the road. And quick. I think quick enough to hold Pygmies off till the end of the race. That's Tommy Kuhn in. So Lamb goes back to being the leader. Tommy Kuhn, I believe, is actually sitting somewhere in 4th or 5th when they come out of the pits. We'll see. They do have to take fuel. And so they're going to come out not in 5th, not even 6th. Looks like, no, yeah, 5th. Okay. Sorry, the little thing threw me off. Joao is in. Of course, these two, Tommy Kuhn and Joao, just lost their teammate, F. Oliveira. Got disconnected. And that really sucked. You know what, Charles? Your teammate Hallex not doing too bad for themselves. They owe a pit stop, of course. But they're still running in the top 5. Or close enough even after that big shunt in the cutting. You saw they flew across all the way into the kitty litter there, which is sand trap actually. which is expected. That's why that sand trap's there. You're going very, very fast there. If you miss the cutting, you go down Conrod Street, right? And you're carrying a lot of speed, assuming you don't blow your engine. And then you get to this kink that's still full throttle, so you're still going quick. But right after that kink, all of a sudden you have a 90-degree left-hand turn followed by a 90-degree right-hand turn right after it. It's basically a long chicane. Anything goes wrong there, and you're going a long way off track. And that's what we saw happen to Hallex. It could have been somebody could have just hip checked Hallex a little bit, and they dipped a tire into the grass, and that was it, you know? It's a very tough corner. Professional race car drivers make it look easy, but it's not. Hallex into the pits. Let's see where they come out. Ooh, I think it was hard to tell, but they might have been a little bit squirrely there as they entered the pit, the pit animation. And if they cut the corner or messed up, they may come out of this with a penalty. We'll see. Okay, no cut, no penalty. Hallex comes out in 5th place behind Tommy Kahn. Tommy Kahn been running really consistently, been running real well for this race, and they should be able to make it to the end of the race here on the fuel they have. Oh, so far, a good race for that driver. Lamb, the leader, after, if you recall, Lamb dominated qualifying and got beat out by 2 people for 1st place. They started the race in 3rd, fell down to 6th or 7th at one point, just had a bad moment there, and have basically climbed themselves back up, just through fuel saving, you know, jumping up ahead of people out of the pits, getting a little bit closer to people out of the pits, and they're back up front. Lamb did the same thing in Spa. We watched Lamb start off in, I think, 1st place, actually. Lost it, sat in 2nd for the whole 1st stint, just sat behind their opponent and short-shifted that Mazda into a win. And here we are again. Hallex did do a great job. Lamb has nothing but clear skies, clear road ahead, a long way to the next opponent back, Pickmiz. Now we know Pickmiz can go faster than Lamb. I don't know if it's consistent. Pickmiz came in at the very last second to take 1st place in qualifying. Which means the first 15 minutes of qualifying, they were nowhere near the top, which indicates to me that it may not be a consistent lap time, but we'll see. They could also have just sat in the pits and decided to do a one and done, and I didn't notice. Some people are quick like that. Quentin, ahead of Tommy Kahn, but not ahead of Tommy Kahn by all that much. Faster than Tommy Kahn, certainly, but it only takes one mistake to bring you into a fight. And it's one thing to be faster than somebody on outright pace. It's another thing to be able to battle and still be quicker than them. So we'll keep an eye on this and see if Tommy Kahn can stay within sight and stay within striking distance. Should Quentin have another moment. Hallex moving around, sliding around through the S's and down the dipper. That Viper really fighting to go through. The Viper's kind of a boat, very fast in a straight line, really fun car to drive, but it understeers a bit, just a little bit. It's got a big old heavy V10 right in the front, so you know you gotta expect that it's not going to be that great at turning. teammates Rush and Turbo together again. Joao's been running in 7th and 8th pretty much this whole race. Not really much to report from the Aston Martin driver. They qualified in, I want to say, 7th. And so they're right on par for their pace, it looks like. Tony hasn't been out of last place very much at all. But Tony is running in 10th with Nemesis behind in 11th. Neither one of them really have been a factor in this race. No one 8th through 11th, really. But at times, we've seen Turbo up in the top 5. We've seen Rush, Halex for sure. Tommy Kun consistently running just behind the podium in a lot of these races. We'll see where they end up here. In fact, why don't we take a look at the standings and see where they stand in the championship. We got Lamb in first place with 78 points. Halex in second, 72. Quentin, and then Joao Oliveira. Platinum, who didn't make it into this race. I wonder if Platinum has a replacement. I'm not sure who's running for them. I don't see anyone else with the ERD team tag, but that doesn't mean that they don't have a replacement. In fact, I don't see Pikmiz on this standing scores card, so I wonder if Pikmiz is a replacement for someone. Alright, that's the top 5. Rush, AMS Rush is actually just sitting in 6th place. Tommy Kun sits in 6th place as well for the championship. They're both tied at 60 points. And then Charles, that's you, Charles, watching. You sit in 8th. And F. Oliveira is tied with you for 8th, actually. And then Tony in 10th place. That's the top 10 for the standings. I may be able to find the finishing order for the last race. For race 2, I did not commentate. That gap between Lamb and Pikmiz still holding strong. Quentin! Ooh, right when I put you on TV. That would have been Tommy Kun's chance, except Tommy Kun is back here. What happened, Tommy? Behind Halex. So Halex was not close enough to Quentin to take advantage of whatever just happened there. But that was Tommy Kun's position to have if something hadn't happened to Tommy. That really sucks. You hate to see that. I hate when that happens. When I mess up and then the person I've been chasing down messes up right after, but now it's too late, right? I'm not close enough to do anything about it. Is Tommy gonna have to fight Halex? No, they're pretty far from one another, actually. Tommy is gonna have Turbo and Rush just behind, though. Not too far behind at all. So now you've got Team AMS gonna try to come after the top player in Team 1. And Tommy Kun doesn't have a teammate nearby to help out. Joao is 11.5 seconds back. So now these two have Tommy in their sights. Joao racing alone still. Diogo, Tony, Nemesis all racing alone. Lamb racing alone. It's your race to lose as Lamb starts the last lap. Pikmiz starts at 2. Even further back, Pikmiz just lost a 1.5 seconds to Lamb from the last time we checked. Not sure how that happened, but probably just a quick mistake there. Quentin hangs on to 3rd. Despite that moment in the cutting, Halex is not too far behind, but not really within striking distance, of course, unless Quentin has another moment. Not saying it's gonna happen, but it could. Tommy Kun, meanwhile, Turbo starting to make that move, but Tommy's defensive. Turbo makes the move around the outside. Is it going to stick? Yeah, it sticks. Tommy got a little squirrely behind them, getting on the throttle there. Looks like them Turbos caught him out. And now Tommy is in an AMS sandwich with nowhere to go except to try to get that position back from Turbo. Shouldn't be too hard, just kind of stick to them and get that position in the straight. Tommy doing a good job sticking right there on those taillights, even through these fast sweepers in dirty air. Now they enter the S's. Tommy's gonna have to be careful here. That car's gonna be very aero light right there. Holds on to it, well done. Loses a little bit of room to Turbo, but that's probably a good thing. You want a little bit of room so that slipstream can pull you. If you're too close, you're not going to get much of a slipstream. So Tommy backing off a little bit there to try to get a run and try to get around Turbo. Might have backed off a little too much though. It's more than half a second, the gap. It's closing, but they're going to enter the kink and Tommy still won't be passed. That's not where Tommy wants to be. Yeah, not close enough to make a dive into the cutting. Probably not close enough to make a dive into Murray either. So that's Turbo with 5th place right there over Tommy. Just, man, just that. Tommy did a great job hanging on to Turbo, but something happened between the dipper and the elbow, and Tommy just got a little too far behind and couldn't make something happen in the straight. So Turbo takes 5th place. That's the end of the race. Lamb, Pickmiz, Quentin, Halex, Turbo, your top 5. Tommy Kun in 6th. Got to be kicking themselves. Rush in 7th. Joao Oliveira in 8th. Diogo in 9th. Going to cross the line here. And then we're just waiting on Tony and Nemesis to cross the line. Don't expect any changes to happen there for 10th and 11th place. We would have had a 12th, but we lost F. Oliveira earlier in the race. And so now we wait for 11 to come home. And that's that. I actually can't find the finishing order for the last race. But we did read the championship standings for you as far as players go, the top 10 of them. We do also have a team championship. Well done, Lamb, for that win. So as far as teams go, ARC are at the top. Alex and Charles number 1, tied for number 1 actually with 1 racing. That's Joao, that's Tommy Khan, that's F. Oliveira, who you saw we lost. 2nd or 3rd, I'm doing great. 3rd, but technically 2nd, I guess, is Team PX7, that's Lamb and Nemesis. And then Team ERD in 4th place and AMS in 5th. Those are the team standings, the top part of the team standings. I'm not sure if you can access this if you're not on the Discord server. But all that information's on the Discord server. Everyone had a great race. Congratulations to Lamb, honestly, just to come back from 6th place there and make that happen. Some really bad luck for Quentin, who left pretty much immediately after the end of the race. To lose 1st place there, get that. PK, of course, getting 3rd place there. After qualifying in 1st and leading the race for a little bit of time. Quentin had the better pit strategy, and it looked like Quentin might have also had better overall pace, at least in that 2nd to last stint up until the moment. We'll call it the moment. But good job to everyone. Alright guys, thank you for watching the stream. I'm gonna go ahead and hop out of the room. Hop out of everything. Hope you all have a great Sunday, and we'll see you next week.